Hello and welcome. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of Anne's very first day at her new job, her first ever role as a receptionist. It's a story full of small moments, quiet courage, and the feeling of growing up just a little more. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and come along with me. It all began on a quiet Sunday night. The stars shimmered gently outside, and Anne stood in her cozy, well-kept bedroom. The glow from her bedside lamp made everything look calm and soft. On her bed, she had carefully laid out her clothes for the next morning, a crisp white blouse and a neat black pencil skirt. Her silver watch rested beside her ID badge and slim office folder. Her long chestnut hair framed her face as she looked at the alarm clock and whispered, "Everything will be fine." Then she turned off the lamp, lay back on the bed, and let the silence of the night carry her into sleep. The next morning, at exactly 6:30 a.m., her alarm chimed softly. The sunlight crept through the curtains, gently waking the room. Anne opened her eyes and stretched, a small smile appearing on her face. She tied her hair into a neat ponytail and sat up, her feet touching the wooden floor. The day had come. She walked into the bathroom, the bright light and splash of cold water bringing her fully awake. She brushed her teeth, looked at herself in the mirror, and whispered with quiet strength, "Let's do this." Back in her room, and dressed carefully. Her blouse buttoned up, skirt smoothed, silver watch adjusted just right. She checked herself in the mirror and clipped on her ID badge. Standing tall, she smiled at her reflection, ready. In the kitchen, the soft clinking of a cup met the still morning, and sat with warm tea and toast, the golden sunlight painting the table. Her office bag rested beside her, already packed. She ate slowly, staring out the window, thinking about the unknown ahead. Once she was ready and double-checked her things, notebook, pen, tissues, lunch, hand sanitizer. Everything was there. She gave her mother a wave, stepped outside, and walked down the quiet, tree-lined street. Her ponytail swayed behind her as the wind kissed her cheeks. At the bus stop, she stood tall, feeling both nervous and hopeful. On the bus, she found a seat by the window and held her folder in her lap. She gazed at the passing city and practiced softly, "Good morning, Greenview Solutions. This is," and speaking. The building stood tall, modern, and full of promise. Greenview Solutions read the sign above the glass doors. She stepped inside, heart beating faster. In the bright lobby, Mr. Keller, her manager, greeted her with a kind handshake. "Welcome," and he said warmly, "We're happy to have you." "Thank you," Anne replied, her voice soft but sure. He gave her a tour, sleek hallways, quiet desks, meeting rooms. Friendly faces smiled and nodded, and absorbed everything like a sponge. Then they arrived at the front desk. Her desk, a smooth wooden surface with a computer, a pen holder, and a little potted plant. "This is your spot," said Mr. Keller, and placed her folder down and smiled. This was real now. Soon after, her co-workers came by, Sophie from HR, Jonas from accounting, and Lena, another receptionist. "Welcome to the team," Lena said. They were warm, kind, and real. Anne's nerves eased. Mr. Keller handed her a paper with tasks: greet visitors, answer calls, check emails. "I'll do my best," she said clearly. Lena helped her practice phone greetings. At first, Anne stumbled a little, but she laughed it off and kept trying until her voice sounded natural. "Good morning, Greenview Solutions. This is," Anne speaking. Then came her first real visitor, a man in a suit. She stood, smiled, and asked for his name, then called Mr. Keller. Her hands shook slightly, but she managed it well. A few minutes later, the phone rang, and froze for a second, then answered. "Greenview Solutions," and speaking. The voice on the other end asked for accounting. She transferred the call, her first one. Success. Of course, she made a mistake too. She gave a message to the wrong person. Mr. Keller corrected her gently. "Mistakes happen," and blushed, apologized, and made a note to be more careful. She replied to emails, focusing on clear, polite language. Then Lena showed her how to organize the file cabinet. Appointments, visitor logs, invoices, all in order. And actually enjoyed the calm of it. A delivery came, a package for IT, and signed, called the department, and handled it like a pro. The delivery man smiled and said, "Thank you." She returned the smile. "You're welcome." At lunch, and sat in the staff kitchen with Lena and Sophie. They chatted, shared food, and laughed, and felt lighter, like she belonged. Back at the desk, and took calls smoothly. She greeted visitors with a smile and helped them confidently. The girl from the morning was beginning to bloom. As the afternoon passed, the office quieted, and organized more papers, updated schedules, and answered a few more emails. It was peaceful, and she liked it. At one point, Mr. Keller walked by and said, "You're doing great, and..." "Thank you, sir," she replied, glowing with quiet pride. At 5 p.m., she shut down her computer, cleaned her space, and looked around one last time. "Day one done," she whispered. On the bus ride home, she leaned against the window. The city bathed in sunset light, her eyes soft and tired. She had made it through. That evening at the kitchen table, and told her mother everything: the phone calls, the people, the mistake, the compliment. Her mother hugged her tightly and said, "I'm so proud of you," and believed her. Before bed, and sat in her room with her journal, she wrote, "My first day as a receptionist. I was nervous. I made mistakes, but I smiled, learned, and grew. I'm proud of me." She closed her journal, turned off the lamp, and lay down. A small smile touched her lips. Her eyes closed, and peace filled her heart. Thank you so much for listening to Anne's first day. I hope her journey reminded you that beginnings can be both scary and beautiful, and that even small steps forward matter. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life English stories. Until next time, take care and keep learning.